I would caution against using charcoal toothpaste all the time. That is a big rage that's going on right now. The problem is that it draws out a lot of things, including the good bacteria in your gut, in your teeth, sorry, and in your gums, which are important. So, I mean, if you want to use it for whitening, you definitely can. I've done that, but I would only use it once or twice a week.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Fab Fertile TV. I'm Sarah Clark.
And I'm Brandy Bosco.
Awesome. So today we're digging into personal care. So talking about all the different personal care products that we can, as you start moving over to natural options, being able to switch them out. So it is very individualized, and really you've got to kind of, is a little bit of a trial and error. And Brandy and I were talking before this, and really knowing your skin type, which for me is combination, sort of going on the dry side. I'm not sure about your skin type, Brandy.
I have really sensitive skin, but it's oily and can be acne prone. So I've used a lot of different things, and when I find something that works, I kind of just stick with it.
I'm the same. Yeah, exactly. So, so basically, you want to look at your toothpaste. So that's probably an easy one to start with, because really, and I use Jason toothpaste. I've tried a bunch of them. Sometimes I'd be brushing, and I'm like, God, I'm like literally 2 hours later, my teeth feel filthy. So Jason actually has been a good one for me. Anything that you like with the toothpaste?
There's different ones. There's Tom's of Maine. Unfortunately, that one did get bought out by Colgate, but it is still pretty clean. I've used, actually, Dr. Bronner's has their own toothpaste line, which tends to be really good. Salt of the Earth, that one I've tried. That one, it's salty, so salt from the earth, but it does work well. It's gritty. It does a really good job. They have a lemon flavor one that my kids like, so that one works. It's just really looking on the labels, making sure that it's free of chemicals. SLS is a big one.
Yeah.
And then use that app that we always talk about, the Think Dirty app, or EWG Skin Deep. Both of those you can get on your phone, iPhone or Google phone, and you can scan it when you're in the store, and it'll be able to give you a rating on the toothpaste. But those are some pretty good ones. I would caution against using charcoal toothpaste all the time. That is a big rage that's going on right now. The problem is that it draws out a lot of things, including the good bacteria in your gut, in your teeth, sorry, and in your gums, which are important. So, I mean, if you want to use it for whitening, you definitely can. I've done that, but I would only use it once or twice a week.
Yeah, I use it for a little bit, and that stuff is filthy. I had it was black with charcoal, and then when you spit, it was like a black volcano went off in the sink, and I'm like, oh my, and my toothpaste, everything was, my toothbrush, everything was filthy. But and I couldn't really say that my teeth were whiter, and I kind of used it ones for sensitivity, because I get sensitive teeth. But as I've switched over to a natural toothpaste, I don't find I have as much sensitivity. And also making those changes in my diet, before I used to have, my gums were eroding, and now the gums are fine. And if you even want to do some of that oil pulling, I did that for a while with using the coconut oil. Just don't spit it down the drain, because then you'll clog your drain. But really,
Yeah.
that's really good for good oral health.
Yeah, those are some really great ideas.
Awesome. And the next one we have, and both of us, Brandy, and a lot of our couples and our clients do struggle with deodorant. And I remember back in my early 20s, like every deodorant I used, it didn't work. I'd be like 2 hours later going, what is that stink? Oh wait, it's me. And I was just allergic to like a whole whack of them. So I have over the years tried every last deodorant you can imagine. And I finally found one that actually works for me, and it's Dr. Mist. So really, it's just like a little spray. If you are kind of like doing a little bit of your stress sweating, or if you're having a little extra sweating, you have to kind of apply a little bit more. But in general, that one works for me. No like wild itching. And I used to have I literally would put the deodorant on, and there'd be like this little patch I'd have to go around, because there was always this like red patch under my armpit for years. So, and I think you've had some similar experiences with deodorants.
Yeah, and the biggest thing with natural deodorants is they use baking soda.
Yes.
And a lot of people are super sensitive to baking soda, so it took me a really, really long time. I mean, there's some great ones on the market. Things like Schmidt's, they have some really good ones. You can get those at a lot of places. There's one called Stank Stop. That is a really good one.
Thanks, Stop. There you go.
But a lot of those I couldn't use. And what I found is using a charcoal base deodorant works well for me because it works for my sensitive skin. It doesn't make it really red. And so the two that I really like Primally Pure. They have a couple of different scents, and those ones work really well. And then there's another brand called Piper Way, which is just charcoal based, and it's got a little bit of a mint scent to it. And that one you can get online at most places. Primally Pure you can only order directly from them. But both of those work really well. And again, it's one of those things where you have to experiment and try. My husband does well with Tom's. The Native brand is also a really inexpensive brand, and that seems to work well for him, but he doesn't have sensitive skin like I do. So it's really just experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't work.
And then for body wash, that's another good one. I think you like Dr. Bronner's.
Yeah, so I use a Castile soap just because it's easier.
Mhm.
All of us can use it. It's simple. You just buy a big jug. But one thing to know is if you have very dry skin, it can be drying. So you want to look for things on the market. I believe there's different ones. Again, Dr. Bronner's does have a more creamy one, I believe, that you can look for. There are some other ones like Jason's, I believe, has one. Um, not Annie's Organics. There's a bunch of different ones that you can find at like Whole Foods or your health food store for different types of body washes. And again, it's just experimenting and trying to find one that works for you.
Yeah, and the same with shampoos to really again experiment one that doesn't have all the foaming, so the SLS, the phthalates, the parabens, all of those, and really also one that works. I get one. I don't know exactly how perfect this one is, but it works for me, and it doesn't have any of those different parabens in it. So but I can't remember the name of it right now, so I'm sorry.
That one is really trial and error, and I try to light up different ones as well, and it would either make my hair really stringy or really dry or really greasy. I tend to get a really greasy scalp really easily. The other issue is that if you are really gluten sensitive, a lot of soaps and shampoos use wheat protein in it to thicken it and to make it creamy. So that's something that if you are, and we'll talk about that if you're, in our couples coaching program, if that's an issue for you, a lot of shampoos will have that in there. So you need to make sure you're looking for a gluten-free shampoo. I tend to use Beauty Counter just because they have a couple of different types. I like their everyday shampoo. That works pretty good. There is a gluten-free shampoo that is cleaner that you can get from Costco. So it's their Kirkland brand. It says gluten-free on the front. There's no SLS on it. That one's okay. It just has a lot of fragrances in it, which I'm not a big fan of because fragrances and shampoos and products tend to be pretty toxic. There's a lot of chemicals in there, but it is a good backup if you need something else.
Yeah, the next one we have is skincare. So again, because of I have this dry, sensitive combination skin for years trying to figure out a skincare routine that works for me. I finally have found Juice Beauty. It is a little bit more money, but I just find it works for me. I use the anti-aging line, and it's really nice. They have a night cream, they have a serum, and so that works for me. Also, Anne Marie, I've tried that one before. So like it's very individual. So to kind of test it out and see what works for you, but is again what we're saying, to know your skin type.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different options. I mean, I used to be really crunchy just because everything I tried didn't work. I would just use the Castile soap, Dr. Bronner's Castile soap to wash my face, and then I would just use coconut oil and be super basic for a body lotion. And after a while, I mean, that's okay, but after a while it's not like anti-aging, it doesn't brighten your skin, all of those different things. So that can work. I've used Anne Marie Gianni. Some of that stuff is really nice. It's all kind of organic, oil based, a lot of essential oils. Living Libations is another good one. It's same, all small batch. Those are really, really nice. I'm a big fan of Beauty Counter just because after trying so many different things, I wanted products that were clean, that worked well, and were also really thoughtful for like the environment and gluten free and all of those things. And I just found that that was the best company that had the widest range of products. They are a little more expensive, but they're higher quality and their return policy is really good. So if you ever try anything from Beauty Counter and it doesn't work for you, you can return it in 30 days and try something else. So it's really just experimenting and knowing your skin and trying to find something that works for you.
So I've used Beauty Counter's body wash, and that's really nice. And this stuff lasts for ages. It's, you know, you only need a little bit, goes a long way. Yeah, so definitely there's are some options to check out for personal care. Again, look at the Think Dirty app when you're shopping. Know your skin type, and if you want any other recommendations, just you can you can book your call below, and we can chat more to see how you know, switching out your personal care products can help with your fertility. Until next time.